Hi, and welcome to today's L4G news update with myself and Chris Ogle. Chris, come and say hello.
Yeah, hi, yeah. I'm here in Watford, sunny Watford. It's brightening up now at last.
That's good to hear. It's not brightened up here yet, but hey, I've got good lighting. Uh, so this week we're going to start off with shout outs and credits. What shout outs and credits have you got for us, Chris?
Well, I'm gonna actually start off with talking about some of the new events that have come up, because actually some of those will result in me talking about some of the people that are involved in those. So I'm going to start off with those, and we're actually on week 74. Can you believe it? Of these news updates, and they've gone through quite a lot of change in the time we started them. But anyhow, middle of June already. Can you believe it? But okay, what have we got coming up? Well, I spoke to Alex this week, and we've got more part definitely booked now. I can't actually give you the date because I don't have it written down here, but it's actually up on Eventbrite now, so that's good news. And I was up in Luton on Wednesday and speaking to Kate Griffiths, and afterwards I went down to see Marjorie's, which is a coffee shop in Hightown, and I was talking with Michael Misson there, and he's got an event going off down there on the 20th where he's gathering the great and the good of Luton to see if we can rebrand it as Lutonia. So that's happening this Friday coming, and that's the launch of that event. Um, We've also, on the same day, believe it or not, got a launch of Hitchin, a coffee shop in the middle of the town there. It's an independent coffee shop, and Kate Griffiths and Jen Tiller will be hosting that one. So they've already got, I think, 12 or 13 booked in, and apparently there's only like 8 tables, so it's going to get quite cosy down there, I think. On the 18th of July, we've got a afternoon tea event, L4G tea, which I did mention last week, and so I'm really looking forward to that because that's like going to be an afternoon event, which we don't actually have at the moment. So that's really good. And we're going to before we go there on the 18th, on the 4th of July. So that's the American Day of Independence. We're moving the Missenden event from Coffee Approach, which is kind of at the top of the town, right to the end of this high street, to it's a conferencing and wedding facility called an Abbey, and it's pretty special, this place. But it's a bit out of the way. They've got a very small sign on the road, and if you didn't know it was there, you'd probably drive right. But once you go in, the landscape gardens are pretty awesome. So we're moving the event there. What else we got? 4th of June, or it could be July. I'm not sure yet. I haven't been told. But we've got a launch of a coffee in Rugby. So that's in James Randall's district. So that's good. Two ladies running that. And then we've got Braintree, I've been told about this week. And that's July the 4th as well. So that's another event going off then. And that's in Paul Violet's district. So well done there. This week we've got the launch of Middlesbrough on the 17th of June on Tuesday, so that's fantastic. And up there in Saltburn, which is just along the coast there, in a fantastic spa venue, we've got an event on the 9th of July. So I might just have to go up and enjoy that spa venue and have a bit of a relaxation. There's loads of other stuff as well. Uxbridge, Croydon, Orpington, Penrith, Stanmore College, some other events starting up in the northeast as well, but I haven't got details of those. And we've got a venue for Halifax and Bradford, which officially I haven't been told about, but I've been told it's quite exciting. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that one as well. So that's it. So that's kind of the new events sort of roundup, as it were.
That was quite funny because we were starting with shout outs and credits, but we've now got new events. So let's
Well,
go.
I, I wanted to do the new events first because obviously some of those are things I want to talk about in the credits. All right, so that's why.
So have we done the credits, or do you want to go on to the shout outs and credits now, or was that included?
I'll do the shout outs now, all right? And a big shout out for Nikki arranging the barbecue last Sunday. Amazing weather, really, when we'd had stones and heaven knows what the day before. But the skies cleared and it was absolutely amazing day. And what a venue for that barbecue! And it was pretty impressive. An organisation which has got precious funds. They're doing a remarkable job there, aren't they?
Yeah, I must admit, I went to that barbecue and it was absolutely awesome. And what really touched me, it was at a exotic animals sanctuary where they are a charity. It costs them between 65 and 70,000 pounds a year to actually keep it going. They are not funded by the government or anybody else. They're purely reliant on donations. And as a charity, they're only allowed to open to the public 6 times a year. So they're very limited on what they can actually do. But what really hit me was when there's the mum and her son who were there. And her son took us round and he was talking about the animals and describing where they came from and some of their background. And you could really feel that he put the animals first and foremost. He didn't make decisions and go, well, I think they should do it like this, so that's the way we do it. He not talks to the animals, but he basically really understands them. And there's a big cat there. There's two, but one of the big cats they sort of brought up from very small, and he used to play with it and it would sit on his knee and come up for a fuss and everything. And then as it matured and it got its own pen and the pen got a little bit bigger, the big cat decided that this is my territory, and now they have to shut it away when they actually trim the lawn or anything in there. And he totally respects that because he understands that this is a wild animal, that this is an animal that, yes, when it was small, it was playful and cuddly, but you have to watch them and you have to let them mark their own territory and decide how they want you to act around them. The second cat stays in the pen when he does it. So, and it was really every animal he spoke about, he just so understood the animals, and that to me was so inspirational.
It was a lot of fun, and really big thanks to Nikki for first of all identifying the place and then allowing us to use it. So that was fantastic. I also want to give a shout out to the Ely ladies, that's Anita and Amelia, because they had a drinks launch on Tuesday. They had the deputy mayor there and everything, and it was a really good event. So well done to those ladies, because you know, it's always a bit you know, you're always a bit pensive when you've got an event launching, but they did a cracking job. So a big thanks out to them. That's my two main ones, actually, and I just want to give you a quick roundup of the events that I went to last week. So now last week I think it was the furthest I've travelled in 1 week. I did 1,400 miles last week. So I went to Farnham, I went to Nuneaton, I went to Ely, I went to Luton, I went to Redcar, I went to Cardiff, and I've been on the Watford Market. And I also managed to squeeze in 2 visits to business shows last week as well, somewhere amongst all of that lot. So it was a pretty busy week.
And at one of the business shows, we actually did a roving reporter, a test, our very first roving reporter TV show that you can actually find on YouTube. We've sort of put the clips together. We had a few techie issues, but it was really great to be able to actually be live. And I was here, and Chris was at the show, and Paul Violet and a couple of other people were there as well. And we actually were able to talk to them and have a look around the show from a distance. So do go over to the YouTube channel and have a look at that as well.
Yeah, I must first time out from moving water. It was absolute disaster, but it was a lot of fun, and it was a bit different. So the next one, I Miss You, will be better than that. Okay, so I'm now going to just spend a bit of time on the training and education because we've got a lot going on there. If you're if you're thinking about any of the training workshops we do, or you're trying to find out where they are, go to the trainings tab on the website, the link4growth.biz website. At the top, there's a trainings link, and we basically run three sort of types of training, but the two key ones are the half-day workshops and the accelerated learning programs, and you'll find all the details there about what they are. We're scheduled 3 months out into the future so that people can go on them and pick the one they want to go in and fit it around their schedules. Do go along there and have a look at that. We have got an accelerated LinkedIn program starting on the 2nd of July. We've actually got, I think, a Twitter and Hootsuite one starting this week as well. We've also got a blogging, an actual hands-on blogging training taking place on the 23rd, and loads of other stuff. I'm not going to go into all of them, but there are plenty of opportunities for people to go on and actually pick up these really important skills. And I mean, one of the things that that I explain to people is that we're coming to the age of the era of selling, like throw enough stuff out there, some will stick type blatant advertising. And what we're coming into is an era of where you have to, that is not really that important. It's about saying what you do, and that's being a confirmation on your website, confirmation of what you've been telling people. But actually it's networking, building relationships and getting people to like you, and doing that both offline and online. That's really the key. And we've got the offline events, that's what Link for Growth events are. The online stuff is, you know, your Twitter, your Hootsuite, your LinkedIn, your Google Plus, your Facebook, Pinterest, Foursquare. These are all platforms that we use. And of course the Link for Growth community forums, which brings everybody together right across the nation. So you've got to get good on these. If you want to be successful at whatever you're doing, whether it's a charity or a business, you've got to get good at networking online and offline. And that's what we're doing. We're providing the tools to enable you to do that. So do go and check out the training. If you're not getting the most out of these online platforms, and to be honest, only about 5% are, you should really go along there and pick the things that you want to pick up first and get yourself booked in.
Can I just add a little bit there as well? Something that I've heard a couple of people say, because on some of the training where we're describing what the training is and how, the online training is delivered using Google Hangouts, but you don't have to worry about knowing how to use Google Hangouts yourself. And I've had a few people that have said, but I don't know how to use them, so I can't go on the training. The training is delivered by Hangouts. We, the trainers, know how to use the Hangouts. All you need is a computer or a device that can watch an online video. You really don't have to worry about the technology to be able to attend the courses. And I think that's really important that people are aware of that.
Yep. I mean, we do still do some offline stuff, and we do still do some various flavors of these things. It's quite important that, you know, in these early days of technology where people are kind of not sure whatever, that there's a range of ways of doing things, and I think that's quite important too. And you know, and we've obviously got to work with people on how they want to consume knowledge, basically. So anyway, we've got loads of workshops and loads of stuff going on, so that's fantastic. And I'm really pleased with the way that's coming along, because when I talk to people, they say, you know, I'm on Twitter but I don't know what I'm doing, and then I'm on Facebook but I've got no idea, or I'm on LinkedIn just collecting names. And it's like, that's most people. So it's not that you're doing badly, it's what most people do. And it's the same with networking. People go along to networking and they give out business cards and they think that's what people do, and it's not. But they've copied other people and what other people are doing, and they're all doing it badly. So it's all about really getting that level of proficiency up in an area, because people don't like selling, do they? So it's like, well, if you don't want to sell, you can't do these bits good. This is where you've got to focus your time. So anyway, that's really good. And don't forget open source Link for Skills, which is about harnessing all the knowledge that we've got in the network and providing that via different mechanisms on the education platform to enable people to get that knowledge that they need, because we've all got the knowledge somewhere in the network. It's just about making sure it gets out to the people that need it. So if you want to know more about that, talk to your district leader. Right, okay, I'm going to come on to collaborations now, and I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on this, but essentially there are groups of people that are out there doing some really, really good work, and it's about forming those relationships with those people so that we can all benefit from accelerating the process. And one of them is Prime, who look after people who have been made redundant and a 50+ age group. And that's a vulnerable group of people, really, who've never really run a business, and they're kind of out there trying to forge their way in a brave new world, and they face all sorts of challenges, not least of which is self-esteem, and actually people back into the community providing a valuable service is really essential. And Prime do some fantastic. Plugging them into Link for Growth is going to be awesome. So I'm working hard on that one at the moment. Also working with the Collaboration Club and Alan Willis. That they've got I mean, he believes the world's in a bit of a mess. So with common thinking there, but he's bringing people together to do some projects which need doing in the community, and bringing the money from people who have got high net value into places where it's needed. It can be seen to be doing really good things. So that's a great initiative, and pleased to be part of that, working with them. And then the last one I want to mention is the BITC, the Business in the Community Connectors, because on Monday they've got a massive, I think it's 400 people going to be at that. There's 100 connectors, plus they can all bring 3 or 4 people. There's going to be 400 people in London, which I'm going to a breakfast first, then I'm going to go on to that. Nick is going to be there, I'm going to be there, all the connectors are going to be there. They're doing some fantastic work out there, and you know, we work together quite closely, but it'd be really good to see all of those in one place. I'm really looking forward to that. So that's it. That's collaborations done. I'm going to now move on to subscription services, and I'm not going to labour this too much, but I'm basically just saying that if you are a subscriber to the Link for Growth, there are lots of ways that you can benefit. All right, if you go to the Say Hello, Welcome, New Here area on the forum and look at the top post, it talks about now you've subscribed, what next? And have a read, because there's all sorts of things that you can get involved in. And Link for Growth doesn't exist for its own glory. It exists for the people in it. So if you're in it, please do go there and have a look at what you can take advantage of, because there's lots of things, and it helps get your passion and what you're up to out there to a much, much wider audience. So please do go and have a look at that and talk to your district leader, and they'll help you if you're in trouble. Okay? Right, well, it's another busy week again next week. I'm just going to quickly run through the events. We've got on Monday, we've got coffee at Marylebone. No, it's a breakfast at Marylebone, which I will be at. Tuesday, we've got Uxbridge, Coventry, Croxley, Middlesbrough launch, which I'll be at. Then on Wednesday, we've got Tame, Ramsey and Hemel Hempstead. On Thursday, Cardiff, Ealing, Hatfield and Watford drinks. And then on Friday, we've got, this was normally quite a quiet day this Friday, but now we've got Luton, Hitchin, Hornchurch and Boreham Wood all on the same day. So loads to look forward to next week, and get yourself along. And we've got a couple of training workshops starting next week as well, so check them out. And if you need those kind of skills, which you do, and you haven't got them, go and get on the workshops. Okay, so it's just the announcements left now, Carol. That's where we're at too, and then we can wrap up. It's national newsletter time again, folks, so watch out for that in the coming week. I hope we might be able to get that out this week. Plans still developing for the mastermind groups, so I'm not going to say any more except that plans are still in progress. I'm really looking forward to the CSR luncheon launch in the Peterborough area. That's hopefully going to be on a steam train, so looking forward to that, and that seems to be progressing well. There's a lot of interest up there for that. There is I think the Southwest Herts Southwest Herts District page has been updated on the forum now, along with Alex Murray, who's taken over that role. But there are a couple of other pages that are yet to go up for newish districts, like the one up in North Yorkshire and Durham. I believe that they're going to be put on this week, so watch out for them too. The book is 53 pages down. After we finish today on the news update, I'm going to be going away and writing some more of that. So I'm hoping I'm hoping to get the first draft out for people on Monday. Now, Monday's an incredibly busy day for me, so that means today and tomorrow I have to rattle off at least 23 pages, and I'm going to be beavering away until a bit later on tonight getting that done. So look out for that, and you know who you are, who I promised to give you a draft copy. Don't have too much of a red marker pen on that, please. I do want it to remain reasonably intact, but any comments or suggestions, much appreciated.
So can I just ask on the book, Chris,
Yeah,
once it's actually ready to go out publicly, will it be going on Kindle? Will it be a PDF from the forum? How will it be an actual physical book? How will people actually be able to get a copy of that book once it's actually officially launched?
it will be available on Kindle at the end of the month, I'm hoping. I put a competition on the forum for design of a book cover. So any designers out there in Link for Growth, get yourself onto the forum and enter the competition. You've just got to come up with something, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put the suggestions up there for people to vote on, and whichever one wins is going to be the book cover.
Cool.
But it's going to come out on Kindle. It's also going to be available in hard copy via either the events. District leaders will have the book with them, and there'll be a fiver for the book events or on Kindle, 10 quid if you buy it through Amazon. So that's basically the book. It'll be a 3-hour, fairly easy read. It needs to be simple. It needs to be reasonably easy reading. I don't want people to get bogged down in it, but it's a multifaceted purpose for this book. It's for people in the network, and it's also for people who want to know about it.
Excellent.
Right, and there's one other big sort of announcement for this week, which was we did a first, which I believe is a massive first for MPs in this country to have live local community engagement through our L4G community TV platform. So this week you kindly hosted the event for us, but I went down to Richard Harrington's office in the Avenue, which is just a little way from here, and sat with Richard, and we had a fairly open and informative, I thought, quite humorous at times, discussion with the Watford MP about his time in office, 4 years, and what kind of where he is right now, kind of a year away before the election. And I think it was quite an honest discussion. I think he did some good for MPs, if I'm honest. What do you think?
I think it was really great, and he came across so personable and very genuine. You know, there was no. I actually made a comment at the beginning of the show and said it was really nice to hear an MP talk like a human being, because so often you listen to MPs talking and ministers, and it's like they've got a scripted answer to everything. They're not really talking as themselves, and he came across so well and so genuine. I thought it was great.
No, and I think if people watching haven't seen it, it's worth a look. And I have had an inquiry from someone saying that he's very keen to see it because he's talking to his MP about Engage Exeter next week, and he would like to basically talk about how they can use the technology in the same way that we did there. So that's a bit of positive feedback right there. So that was that, and that was awesome. I really enjoyed doing that, and I hope that's one of many, and a whole new era for community engagement, which is obviously what we're trying to do there. So the last thing I want to mention is sound bites. Now, I've been remiss in that I haven't been available to do the sound bite that I promised I would do, so we're going to have to get that in the diary for this week. I don't know whether you managed to get one done with young Alex or not. Did you, Carol?
No, we've got that booked in for next week as well.
Okay, fantastic. All right, if you want to get your message out to a much wider audience across the whole nation with Link for Growth, then the sound bite is the way to do it, which is basically a 20-minute to half an hour interview, really, where you can talk about what you're passionate about. It's not a sales pitch. It's an opportunity to talk about what you're an expert in or a wonderful experience you've had and share that with other people in Link for Growth. So that's it. I think I'm done. And that's it for this show. I think unless we've got anything to add, Carol.
No, no, I've got nothing to add. I think that's it. My only point to add is to let everybody know that Chris is going to be talking to his internet provider and get his internet sorted out, because today we know that it's a little bit not so good. It's not brilliant in some areas of the country, but Chris is having quite a few problems today. So we're actually quite lucky that he's been able to show up and actually join us.
All right, no problem. Thank you for that. And everyone, have a great week. Halfway through June already. Where's the year going? But I will be here, as always, next week, along with you, Carol. So thanks for watching.